Welcome to Alt Script.
Season 2 in Korea. Woo-hoo. I made it out.
Yeah, thanks for coming over to the other side of the world, Ria.
Yeah, now I am the jet lagged one. Arrived last night, so I basically did what you did, and I am impressed because I'm here, but I don't know, it's a little questionable.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. Kind of feels like you're floating, you're in a dream.
I feel like I'm in a dream. It hasn't registered that I'm in Seoul right now. But it's okay.
Yeah, no, we'll hit the town and roam about soon. We just need to get through the day.
Yes. No, but this is super exciting because, I think last season, it was just really us processing, where we're at in life and talked a lot about, purpose, identity, what's next, which was really just the foundation of what we really wanted to do, which we're excited because that was to tee up what we're doing for this season, which is to bring our friends.
Yes, yeah. So for this season, we've invited a number of guests from various industries, whether it's food and beverage, fashion design, art, the K-pop industry. And these guests are going to be able to share some insight on what it's like to be living in Seoul as a creative, as an entrepreneur, and be able to sort of shine a bit more light to how they were able to sort of build a life here in Korea, having had that experience of living abroad and being able to sort of move between different cultures. Hopefully you're going to be able to take away something from it, especially if you're thinking about doing something yourself, or you're thinking about moving to Korea, maybe.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think we just want people to feel encouraged that, especially if you've been through different, life transitions and changes, that you aren't alone, and to hear from other people how they've harnessed those moments of change and propelled them to their next chapters. And I'm just really excited to encourage myself and to hear and learn from our friends. And so, yeah, I'm just super stoked for this new season that we're heading into.
Yeah. The people who are coming to the show are people who used to live abroad and decided to move to Seoul, very much like me. And I think, moving to a different city, a different environment, and starting something new, as daunting as it may sound, other people have done it. So I'm not the anomaly, or the exception to the rule. People, and hopefully as more and more people do it themselves, it inspires others to think that it's within reach.
Yeah. Well, couldn't have said it better. But yeah, life's not linear, and to embrace that and run with it, I think that's something I feel like, just learning how to embrace in my 30s, of being okay with that. And so, yeah, I am very expectant, and I haven't moved back to Korea. So I am a little bit of an outlier here, but I'm sure for our friends that are watching that, might be of the diaspora that live outside of Korea and, are wondering, what does that life look like? What does it take? What does it entail? I think that's also going to be, it will be impactful and serve a purpose even in that form of that's what it's like to move back to the motherland.
What do you think it would take for you to move to Korea or consider moving to Korea?
That's a great question. Haven't really thought about it that deeply, but I do know that I would need to have some kind of community here. I think because most of my community is back at home, like my family, you and, uncle and his family are like the only relatives here. So yeah, I don't know. I think I would need more of my family here. And yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. When I do visit Seoul, I feel like these are my people, but I also don't feel like it is. And so there's this feeling of like, I don't know if I belong. And I don't know if I ever will. So there is that like fear in my head, in the back of my head, like whenever I do entertain that thought. So I don't know.
Yeah, and on that note, I think it's you know, something that a lot of non-Korean Koreans think about and struggle with, and you know, it's hard, it's challenging. When I moved here, I basically needed to start from scratch and build my own community. But in a similar way that I think a lot of the other expats have experienced, you know, because there are so many of us as well living in Seoul, it's not as difficult to build your own community. It is, as I said, challenging to do that, you know, in your 30s and when you've already got an established community where you do belong back home. But if anyone is considering moving to Seoul, there are so many different pockets, you know, places, different, you know, I guess, you know, communities like events and, you know, programs where you can be very quickly and exposed to and introduced to a lot of people. So hopefully that isn't too much of a barrier to entry or you know, entertaining the idea of moving here. But I mean, obviously, if you've got a family, if you're married and you've got, you know, if you've got you know, kids, and it's those are bigger considerations. And especially, you know, your job, or, you know, there might be other things that are holding you back. But yeah, hopefully this season, watching some of our guests and, you know, hearing about their experiences, it might inspire some people to actually make the move.
Yeah,
if you do, let me know.
Let us know if that ever happens.
reach out. I would love to hear it, you know. Hopefully I can be of service and, you know, help you settle in.
Yeah, DMs. Slide into DMs.
Oh wow, am I opening the floodgates?
Yeah, exactly. Stay tuned. Watch out for our releases. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us, please.
And put your notifications on.